she has made remarkable contributions in teaching, research, and academic development under her able guidance. Six PhD scholars have successfully completed their doctoral research, and several others are currently pursuing their work. She has also supervised 26 MA dissertations. Her academic excellence is reflected through her 30 research publications, is reputed in national international journals such as Indian Educational Society, Social Change, Journal of Indian Railway Education, and Journal of Positive School Psychology, QT Journal, among others, with a cumulative impact factor exceeding 105. Dr. Shafiq has been invited speaker, chairperson, and active participant in numerous national and international conferences. Her areas of expertise include teacher education, educational psychology, program evaluation and educational research, value education, and special education. We are privileged to have her with us today to share her insights on a topic that lies at the heart of personal and professional success, emotional intelligence. Let us warmly welcome Dr. Nikhat Yasmin Shafeeq and look forward to an engaging and enlightening session ahead. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum to all, and a very good evening to all of you.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am.
And now I am sharing my PPT.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am.
First of all, I am very much thankful to the Aligarh Renaissance and particularly Mr. Asfar Ali Khan for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity to have a talk on this important topic, emotional intelligence for academic and life success. So I am sharing. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Yes, audible.
Okay. And my PPT is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Okay. So we start. It is a very important topic, emotional intelligence. It has a very significant relevance to the present scenario, and it is very important for all ages, students, and particularly adults, old age people. And first of all, we introduce that, as we all know, that no, it's not working. Just a minute. There is some glitch. Just a minute, there is some problem. So now it is visible. PPT is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll start with this very important topic, emotional intelligence for academic and life success. Please mute your mic. So as we all know that cognitive ability has been a benchmark success in education, which is measured through intelligence quotient, standardized tests, and academic grades. So this mindset fails to explain a common phenomena, Why do some students with exceptional intellectual ability struggle in life, while others with moderate cognitive skills thrive? The important factor responsible for this is emotional intelligence, because emotions play a very important role and are also responsible for success in academics as well as in our personal life. So first of all, we should understand these two important terms. First is intelligence. What is understand? We must have a clear understanding about the term intelligence. And the word is derived from the Latin word intelligentsia or intellectus, meaning to comprehend or to perceive, referring to the capacity for understanding and knowledge. David Reschler has given a very good definition, or he has described intelligence as the aggregate or global capacity of the individual to act purposefully, to think rationally, and to deal effectively with his environment. So, all of us should understand this. If we consider ourselves as an intelligent person, then before acting, before every action, we should think that our action is purposeful or it is without purpose. So, and we should think rationally, means without any bias. So, our rationality, we should use our reasoning capacity, reasoning and rationale of our mind, and to deal effectively with his environment. Environment means including the materialistic and non-materialistic environment, our physical, every type, and we have to deal effectively, means without harming anyone, and our actions should be very much constructive. If we are adhering to these things, then we can consider ourselves as intelligent. So it encompasses abilities like logical reasoning, problem solving, abstract thinking, and quick grasping of concept. However, this narrow view overlooks the complex interplay of factors that allow an individual to deal effectively with his environment. And in our environment, we are, because man is a social animal and we have to live in the society and we have to deal with different relations. So it should be very much effective to if we want to live a very happy and peaceful life, contented life, then we should deal with our environment effectively. So a student may possess high cognitive ability to solve a complex calculus problem, but lack the capacity to manage frustration or failure or collaborate with a peer, ultimately hindering his success in life. So how can we say that only being intelligent is enough for leading a successful life? Now we understand the second term, emotion. The word emotion is derived from the Latin word immovere, meaning to move out, agitate, or to stir up. It was first used in English in the late 16th century, around 1579. Emotions may be defined as complex psychophysiological reactions to our world. They are not noise to be ignored, but data to be analyzed, because emotions are considered as spices to our lives and may be categorized as positive and negative, as well as pleasant and unpleasant. So if I ask you that please for a minute, imagine uh, about that if God has not endowed us with emotions, and if we are emotionless, then what will be the state of this world? Will it affect the world or not? Please think for a while.
Yes, affect definitely.
Then what will happen to this world if we are considered as, if we are emotionless, if there are no emotions, if Almighty Allah has not endowed us with different types of emotions, then what will happen? Means we will live a life just like a cabbage. Will be there any progress? in this world?
No.
There will be no progress, because if you think deeply, then all our actions, as we defined intelligence as every action should be purposeful. And if you think carefully and deeply, that our every action, or think, there must be in the background some drive, some emotions are working in the background, isn't it? Yes, do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then according to Paul Ekman, different psychologists categorized many emotions, and there are a number of emotions, and emotions are very complex and very complicated thing. And there are more than 400 emotions. We cannot list all of them in this short time, but I am citing only Paul Ekman. Uh, According to Paul Ekman, there are 6 basic emotions. That is anger, disgust, sadness, fear, happiness, and surprise. Because there are different shades of every emotion. And what anger? We can define anger as a state of feeling or emotion of displeasure, hostility, or antagonism like rage, irritation. Second, disgust, a feeling of revulsion or a strong disapproval. Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Happiness may be defined as a state of well-being characterized by emotions ranging from contentment to intense joy, like glad, content, loving, pleased, etc. Sadness may be defined as an emotional pain associated with or characterized by feelings of disadvantage, loss, despair, grief, and helplessness, like sorrowful, weepy, etc. And surprise may be defined as a brief state of astonishment or shock. And there are so many, and there are different shades, and all the time we may come across, or our actions or words or thinking may be due to the combination of many emotions at a time. Sometimes we experience different emotions. So emotions, what are emotions do, or what is the function of emotion? What emotions do? So emotions inform you about your needs. What are your needs? Motivate you to take action, helps in communicating with others, and influence your decision making. So it helps us in survival and action, because emotions prepare body for immediate action and response. For example, fear triggers fight or flight response to avoid danger. So what is fight and flight response? If we have a fear, or if we are in a very stressful position, or in a very stressful situation, then fight response means we are ready to make adjustment or defend ourselves with that challenge. And we means we are trying to accept the challenge, and we are trying our best to face the challenge, to deal with this situation. And flight, if we are thinking that we are not capable to defend or to adjust in that situation, then we want to withdraw, or withdrawal from that situation is known as flight response, to avoid danger. While anger can encourage you to face a frustrating situation. These may be the situation which we face in our daily life, or sometimes we may face. So it is necessary for our survival and action. And emotions are very necessary to help us in decision making, because emotions provide valuable information that influences your thoughts and guide your decisions. So many times in our life, we may come across with different, at different stages of our life, the different situations in a very dilemma, then what to choose and where to go in many times, then with different emotions. Emotions help us in making decision. Then thirdly, emotions helps us in communicating with others. Emotions serve as a non-verbal medium to communicate your needs and feelings to others. For example, sadness signals a need for help, while joy expresses a positive state. This helps better understanding and response. And also, emotions helps us in self-awareness. Self-awareness means about ourselves. We should be aware about our strengths and weak, weaknesses and what are our great points. So emotions act as internal signals that alert you to your own needs, values, and goals. They help you connect with who you are and what you want out of your life. Means, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? What I want to do, and how we can achieve those things. So, and next, emotions helps us in learning and memory, because emotions shape how you perceive the world and can influence your memories of events. So it helps us in learning and memorizing the events. They also inform you about past experiences, because we remember the important events or our experiences which have a strong impact on us, on our personality, then helping you avoid repeating mistakes. So by memorizing the bad experiences, we should avoid those things to repeat again and again. The next thing, emotions helps us in making interpersonal relationships. Emotions are crucial for forming bonds and navigating social interactions. For example, trust allows you to be vulnerable, while empathy helps you understand others' feeling and build connection. So it is very important, because until and unless we understand other situation, and why and how we can understand others, by keeping ourselves in that situation. So this is, we should be empathetic to understand others' position. Then how emotions influence our body? Because emotions affect our body, means physically as well as mentally, psychologically. So there are three components of our body or emotions, where emotions affect us. That is, physiologically it affects, behaviorally, and also cognitive. So physiological stress response. So as I told you that there are emotions are categorized into negative and positive. So some negative emotions like fear or anger releases stress hormones. That is, for example, cortisol and epinephrine. This prepares the body for fight and flight response by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing rate. So, and next, it affects our immune system. For example, positive emotions can trigger the release of endorphins, that is pain relieving chemical, which can improve immune response. Conversely, the negative emotions can suppress the immune system, making a person susceptible to catch certain diseases. Then next, it affects our cardiovascular health also. So chronic stress from negative emotions is linked to high blood pressure and related diseases, for example, heart attacks, etc. Then it affects our digestive system also. Negative emotions can cause physical symptoms like knot in the stomach or butterflies in the stomachs or even ulcers. Such type of experience we all have sometimes. Then next, it affects our muscle and skeletal system also. So some negative emotions can trigger tension, particularly in muscles, leading to aches and pains, sometimes due to very chronic stress में हम हैं. So chronic means emotion, very acute. Sometimes we feel pains in our muscles or our skeletal system. Then it also affects our brain function and sleep. Negative stress can impact concentration, which make harder to think clearly and cause insomnia. So this will affect our academic performance also. If we are overwhelmed or with some emotions, whether it may be positive emotions or it may be negative emotions, it will hinder our capacity to think clearly, and it will hinder our sleep also. We cannot have a sound sleep. So now combining these two terms, then it is the combination emotional intelligence comes, then emotional intelligence. That is very, very important nowadays. So if intelligence is the ability to deal with the environment, as we have seen in the previous slides, and emotions are a critical part of that environment, it follows that an ability to manage this emotional landscape is a form of intelligence, which is measured in terms of emotional quotient. So, this term, emotional intelligence, was first formally coined by Peter Salovey and John D. Mayer in 1990. They defined it as an ability-based model, describing it as the subset of social intelligence that involves the ability to monitor own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking and actions. So, we all know that for a successful life, emotional intelligence is more important than the mere intelligence. So it is not very relevant that if I am consider myself that or any person is intelligent, then he must be successful. So, but for leading a successful and peaceful life, emotional intelligence has a major role. Okay. So, this is the meaning of emotional intelligence. Now, there are certain how emotions influence our intelligence. So, emotional intelligence is the ability to process emotional information. Emotional intelligence is the intelligent processing of emotions, emotions are the input for emotional intelligence. So, means emotions become the input or the raw data for being an emotional intelligent person. So if we act without emotional intelligence, then emotions are overwhelming noise that can hijack our behavior. For example, if a teacher is very anxious, then it will lead the students in a very stressed situation. But if the teacher is very emotionally intelligent, then emotions may be useful signals that guide intelligent decisions. For example, anxious teacher now use his or her energy to prepare a great lesson. Now, there are certain psychologists who gave different models for emotional intelligence. Mainly, I am giving you a summary of 5 important models. The number one, the ability model given by Mayer, Salovey, Caruso, 90. They gave this model in 1990, and they defined emotional intelligence under 4 branches or dimensions as perceiving, using, understanding, and managing emotions. And they measure this emotional intelligence because they constructed a performance-based test, all the 3, Mayer, Salovey, and Caruso emotional intelligence test. By this, with the help of this tool, they measure the emotional intelligence. Then the next second model was given by Goldman in 1995, known as the mixed model, and he gave or he defined emotional intelligence under 5 dimensions, that is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. And it is measured by self-report and 360-degree feedback. The next model is Baron's model of emotional social intelligence, 97. Then he defined emotional intelligence under 5 dimensions, that is intrapersonal, interpersonal, adaptability, stress management, general mood. And it is measured by self-report inventory. The next model is the trait model of emotional intelligence given by Petrides in 2000. And he described emotional intelligence as emotion-related self-perceptions and dispositions, with how we perceive different things. And it was measured by the self-report questionnaires. Then the next model is Geno's model of emotional intelligence given by Ben Palmer in 2009. It is a workplace-focused framework, and they described emotional intelligence under these dimensions, 7 dimensions, that is self-awareness, awareness of others, authenticity, emotional reasoning, self-management, and positive influence. And it is, they constructed an inventory, that is Geno's emotional intelligence inventory, for measuring such type of emotional intelligence. Then, due to shortage of time, I want to discuss only 3 important, the first 3 models. The ability model, that is given by Mayer, Salovey, and Caruso, given in 1990. They thought emotional intelligence, they describe emotional intelligence as a distinct cognitive ability, like IQ, for reasoning with and about emotions, under 4 key dimensions. That is perceiving emotions, how we perceive emotions of ourselves and also of others. Others also, that how accurately we identify others' emotion by seeing their faces, voices, and art. Sometimes non-verbal communication plays a more important role than the verbal communication. Sometimes non-verbal thing or faces, facial expressions give different or strong messages in comparison to the verbal messages. So it is very important dimension, perceiving emotions. Then second, using emotions, how we harness emotions to facilitate different thinking tasks. For example, using a good mood to brainstorm. Then third dimension is understanding emotions. So to what extent we understand emotions means knowing the causes and consequences of emotions and how they evolve. So sometimes we take very superficial, take the other person's emotions. But if we consider ourselves as an emotional intelligent person, then we should put ourselves in that person's shoes, then we will understand more easily that how he or she behaves like this, what are the various causes behind that, how he or she react in such a way, what are the causes, what are the factors behind this particular action or words. So we will understand if we have a better understanding of emotions of others, consequences, and how they evolve. Then next is managing emotions. To what extent we are successful in regulating our emotions and others to achieve a specific goal. And uh, they all collectively prepare this performance-based test, that is Mayer, Salovey, and Caruso emotional intelligence test, having 141 items. It is relevant for the individuals aged between 13 years and older. Then the next model is the mixed model given by Goldman in 1995. Goldman defined emotional intelligence as a broad mix of abilities, personality traits, and social skills that predict real world success, especially in leadership. And Goldman's has defined this emotional intelligence into 5 components. That is number one, self-awareness. First of all, we should be aware about ourselves, our emotions, our strengths and weaknesses. What are my strengths? What are my potentials? What are my interests? What are my inclinations towards? Then, and what are my weaknesses? So I should set a goal for my life by knowing ourselves, by knowing our emotions, by knowing our strengths as well as weakness. So we will be more justifiable in setting our goal. Then second is self-regulation, means to what extent I am successful in regulating my emotions, in controlling my impulses and managing our moods. Sometimes but not sometimes, but most of the time, we have to act as per the demand of the situation, not according to our mood. Third dimension is motivation, means a passion for achievement, optimism. The next, empathy, means understanding the emotional makeup of other people, as just I have discussed this empathy. The next, social skill. So building rapport and managing relationships. So social skills plays a very, very important role in one's life because we consider man as a social animal. So we have to live in the society. And so that's why if we want to lead a very happy and contented life, then we must learn the art of living. We must have those social skills which are necessary in living in the society, or especially in a diverse society, especially like India. So we must be very, very competent in having such social skills. And this Goldman developed this self-report and 360-degree feedback for measurement of emotional intelligence. Then the third model, the emotional social intelligence model by Reuven Baron. So Reuven Baron uh, attached social intelligence also, because of these social skills, or because that human can't live in isolation. We have to live in the society. So that's why our social intelligence plays a very important role. So it is the mixture of emotional and social intelligence. And he defined this emotional social intelligence model as a cluster of interrelated competencies that determine how well a person understands and expresses themselves, understands and relates to others, and copes with daily challenges. Barons define emotional intelligence under 5 key dimensions and subdimensions. Number one, intrapersonal. For example, emotional self-awareness, assertiveness, independence, self-regard, self-actualization. This is very important. Self-regard. And then interpersonal, empathy, social responsibility, and interpersonal relationship. Next, stress management. So we all know how to manage stress, because nowadays stress has become a part and parcel of our life. We have to come across daily this stress. So we should learn its management, how we can manage stress. So stress tolerance, impulse control. Then next is adaptability. The more adjustable person, the most adaptable a person is, the most successful is. So the sub dimensions of this adaptability are reality testing, problem solving, and flexibility. So we must be flexible enough to make adjustment, and only then we can be a very happy and adjustable person by using this key dimension. Then obviously general mood, optimism, happiness. Then it is measured by self-report questionnaire. This questionnaire having 133 items. Now, as we know that having knowledge is not enough until and unless it is applied. So the next important term I want to discuss here is the emotional maturity. And the core distinction between these two important terms, emotional intelligence and emotional maturity, is that emotional intelligence is not the end goal. It is not the end goal. A person can be highly emotionally intelligent, means able to skillfully read a room or manipulate feelings, but still be impulsive and irresponsible. So, emotional intelligence is the ability, knowledge, and skill of understanding and managing emotions. That's all. But emotional maturity is the application of emotional intelligence and is the outcome of using those skills consistently to behave in a stable, responsible, and constructive manner. So, but it doesn't mean that emotional intelligence has less importance. No, because emotional maturity depends on your emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is very important and significant and acts as a foundation for behaving as a behaving as an emotionally mature person. So we have to apply this ability of emotional intelligence in our day-to-day life, or to behave, to act as an emotionally mature person. So basically in the foundation is the emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is under the foundation of emotionally mature person. Then emotionally emotional mature emotional maturity, what is this? So the true goal means we all have to behave in a emotionally mature way. So what is emotional maturity? Emotional maturity is a state of personality integration and the ability to bear tension and tolerate frustration. We should not be just like a matchstick. So if there is a little friction and we start flaring up, we should not. If we are such type of person, it means we are not emotionally mature. So it is a state of personality integration and the ability to bear tension and tolerate frustration and behave according to the demand of the situations. So relationship between between emotionally intelligent and emotionally mature person, as given by Lapcha and Kumar 2017, is as follows. An emotionally intelligent person is not necessarily mature, means is not necessarily emotionally mature, but an emotionally mature person is emotionally intelligent always, because without emotional intelligence a person cannot be emotionally mature. So what are the key components of emotional maturity? If we consider ourselves that we are emotionally mature person, then we must be emotionally stable. So being means we should be calm and free from excessive mood swings. If a person has very excess mood swings, then he or she is not emotionally stable. Second important dimension or component is social adjustment. So maintaining healthy and cooperative relationships. The next, independence, being self-reliant and taking responsibility for one's actions. So the other name of independence or freedom is responsibility. Because if we want freedom, it means for every action, we are responsible, we are answerable. If we want freedom, if we want independence, means if we want to become self-reliant, it means then no other person is responsible for our actions. Only we should be responsible, we should be answerable for our actions. Therefore, emotional intelligence play a crucial role in leading a successful quality life. Now, we will discuss how emotional intelligence affects academic success and quality of life. Number one, this boosts, first of all, it boosts academic performance. It is very important for our students that they must be emotionally intelligent, because emotional intelligence is a significant predictor of academic success, even after controlling IQ. Then, emotional intelligence helps in self-regulation. It helps our students in managing their test or exams anxiety. So they should be anxious to a limited level, a bit, but not, it should not be at a very high level. Anxiety to stress of a little, a bit of stress is good, but not very much. Then motivation. Then in a persistence through academic challenges. Then social skills obviously gives students the ability to seek help when needed. Then emotional intelligence creates a positive classroom climate. So these are the points which are necessary for our academic success. So classroom consists of the two parties are there, teachers and students. So if the teacher's emotional competence, it affects the teacher's emotional competence is the primary driver of the learning environment. Then high emotional intelligent teachers manage their own stress and form supportive relationships. As we quote the example above, that if teacher is teaching and if the teacher is not emotionally intelligent and he or she is very anxious, then the result will be in a that students will be in very stressed condition. So it is very necessary for teachers to be emotionally intelligent. And next, this fosters a pro-social classroom with fewer behavioral problems. The next, social and emotional learning is the structured application of emotional intelligence principles in schools. It helps in fostering the academic performance of students. The next, emotional intelligence supports our well-being and resilience. Emotional intelligence is a crucial protective factor for mental health, because nowadays we come across different news about this mental health. So mental health is equally important as our physical health is. Then next, it helps in our self-awareness, as we have discussed above in the models. Self-awareness means identifying our emotions, whether positive or negative. And self-regulation means managing our emotions, positive, negative, both. So these self-awareness and self-regulations are the cornerstones of psychological resilience. Then emotional intelligence plays significant role in improving relationships by building a strong bond via cultivating empathy and improving communication skills, resulting in preventing and resolving conflicts. So by communicating, we can resolve many conflicts. So it will enhance our communication skills also if we are emotionally intelligent. Then next, emotional intelligence fosters personal growth by understanding our emotions and how they affect our decisions for better life goals and pursue them more effectively, leading to a more contented life. So emotional intelligence, after going through all these things, now we understand that emotional intelligence is a fundamental component of learning which may be fostered in education. So for enhancing means academic performance or academic achievement. We should how we can incorporate emotional intelligence in our education system. So we can, this emotional intelligence may be fostered in education by integrating emotional intelligence into the curriculum through activities and lesson plans. Next, by teaching self-awareness and self-regulation skills to the students. Then next, by encouraging empathy and perspective taking through teamwork and discussions in the classrooms. Then next, by promoting mindfulness practices in the classroom. Because it is our observation that nowadays the young generation is lacking in attention span. They are not that much careful. They are very much careless. So their mindfulness is very, very necessary in enhancing their academic performance or in enhancing their attention in the classrooms as well as outside the classrooms. Then the question arises how we can enhance our emotional intelligence. Then again, Professor David R. Caruso and Professor Peter Salovey have identified four essential skills for enhancing emotional intelligence as given below. Number one, we can identify our own feelings and the feelings of others. We can enhance our emotional intelligence by this. And then secondly, by using feelings to help guide our thinking and reasoning as well as that of others. So we should not be biased. We should be rational in making decisions, or we should be rational in our thinking. It will help in the clarity, or it will help in enhancing our reasoning capacity. Then thirdly, we should understand how emotions can change and develop as situations unfold. Then fourth, managing your emotions by staying open to them and integrating their data into your decisions and actions. Then what is the present scenario with respect to emotional intelligence? So the need of emotional intelligence in education has never been more urgent as nowadays. It is very, very, there is urgent need of emotional intelligence in the present scenario because today's students are navigating a world of unprecedented complexity. The present scenario is characterized by, number one, digital distractions. There are so many digital distractions and our children are hijacked by this. So the constant connectivity of social media and the internet demands high levels of self-regulation and maintain focus. So we should be emotionally intelligent enough to self-regulate our emotions and to increase our focus. What we should means on what things we should focus, and we should regulate our emotions. We should not be swayed by this digital distractions. Then next is mental health crisis. It is increasing day by day. So rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness among adolescents, young and old people are at an all-time high nowadays. Everyone is alone in himself or herself because the persons living in the same home, they don't have interaction among them, but because they connect with the people living so many kilometers away, but they are not having this. Everyone is alone or lonely. So emotional intelligence provides the foundational skills for mental resilience. Next is social polarization. It is very much visible in our environment, in our society. For that, empathy, the ability to understand the perspectives of others even when we disagree, is a fundamental antidote to the tribalism and bullying, both online and offline, that can pervade school environments. And this is very, very important in our country because India is a multicultural, multilingual country. we are experiencing this social polarization. So we should be intelligent enough, uh, because we should not think, we should not be polarized. We have to live, we should learn the art of living in a diverse society. So now we can conclude this: if intelligence represent a student's cognitive engine, if we represent that intelligence is a cognitive engine, then what is emotional intelligence? Then emotional intelligence is the steering wheel, the brakes, and the driver. Because emotional intelligence uh, is the driver of our personality, of our actions, words, then it is the capacity that allows a person or a student to use his cognitive engine effectively, purposefully, and compassionately. So, by integrating the principles of emotional intelligence into teaching practices, we can improve school climate and can move beyond simply by creating smart students to fostering whole, resilient, and empathetic individuals who are equipped not only to pass an exam but to deal effectively with their environment in all its rich and emotional complexity, hence leading a successful academic and quality life. Thank you very much. So it is within the time. Now the session is open for question
Thank
answer.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am,
If
for
you
the
have
truly
any doubt.
inspiring and insightful lecture. Now we will move forward to the interactive segment of today's program, the question answer session. Participants may now raise their questions one by one, or you may drop that in the chat box. Dr. Shafiq will be addressing your question related to emotional intelligence and its real life applications. So please ask your question in the chat box or one by raising the hand.
So you are welcome. If you have any query, if you have any doubt, then you may ask. Or everything is clear. Yes, either some people are very emotional and tend to overthink even small things which later turns into stress and sometimes during panic or into the lose reality and continuity happens such people manage their emotions and find themselves in bad situations. So, Zoya, this is for dealing with such environment. This is what uh, uh, we are uh, we are discussing, that we should be emotionally intelligent. First of all, we should be self-aware about our emotions. We have to regulate our emotions. So, in such situations, we should think how we should act by using, yeah, the panic, anxiety attack. Anxiety, we should not go to that level. How to regulate negative emotions? First of all, think their consequences. Don't be so sensitive. We should be sensitive in terms of, we should be empathetic in that manner. We should be very sensitive to that thing. But we should know that what are those things to which we should react or we should not react. So first of all, we have that much judgment or that much wisdom, that should we react to that situation or should we keep silent. Then by applying the fight and flight responses, then Ahmed Hassan, senior citizen. Okay, you can have my contact number with the Aligarh Renaissance. I will share. Thank you for your compliments. Any doubt? deeply often struggle to balance their sensitivity with strength sometimes. Our empathy becomes overwhelming and we end up getting hurt in the process. An emotional sensitive person turn this depth of feeling into a strength rather than a weakness. Then that is Ruqayya Imran. Emotional intelligence help an emotionally sensitive person turn this depth of feeling into a strength. So that is the first thing, the most important is self-awareness about our emotions and our judgment. First of all, we should know everything in every situation, whether you are in your family or whether you are in your uh, school, college, education institutions, or in your professional life, workplace. We should first of all do your work honestly. Don't leave anything. Don't shirk your responsibilities. So, and always ready to cooperate. So, you will not get any negative things. Always be ready to help others with honesty. Intentions are pure. Right? Intentions should be very much clear. There's a difference in anxiety. Anxiety, let me clear this thing, that we should, first, let me read out the previous one. Controlling emotions, suppressing. No. Controlling emotions doesn't mean suppressing them, but it is the means wise use. We should be, we should judge our emotions. To what extent we should apply? First of all, should we react or not? Secondly, if we want to react, then to what extent I should react? So in this manner, we can control. Otherwise, we will be in a chaos. If we react, uh, means in an excessive manner, then we should not. So our judgment, our wisdom is very necessary in managing, in regulating our emotions. So we should be very much clear about that, about our capacities, about our potentialities and the demand of the situation. So is there, and we should try to keep balance on that. So we should know to what extent, we should know our limits of reacting or responding to that person. In that manner, we can control. We should not do the things excessively. We should not indulge ourselves. We should not put stake our peace of mind. Is it clear? Then I'm Hindi medium student in 12th Hindi medium college. After this suddenly changed my medium. How handle study burden, but I want to clear you in Hindi medium. So please tell me about how improve my English. So Humaid Ali, it's not a very big problem. There are so many English speaking classes, and first of all, you should be very devoted. There must be, first of all, your strong will. If you want to learn English, your speaking or the medium English, then first of all, what is required is just a strong will to learn English. Speaking in English. There are so many books, there are so many coachings, tutorials. It is available online and offline. So join those and read, make habits of reading different magazines, different newspapers. It will increase your vocabulary. It will enrich your vocabulary, and try to speak in English with your friends. Then inshallah you will improve this problem. You will overcome this problem. Then next, difference between anxiety and depression. Anxiety is a little bit overwhelming of emotions, A little bit emotions are good, but if it exceeds that limit, then it becomes anxiety. And depression is a very severe state. After anxiety, if it consistently uh, there, then it will lead to depression. Is it clear? Is there any doubt? Yes. Some more questions are there?
Yes, ma'am, there are many questions in the chat box.
Questions. Okay, I am checking. Please contact our team. Alex, speak up. Difference between the anti-depression and please explain the influence of emotion on physiology. Mohammed Rehan, explain the influence of emotion on physiology. This point I have taken up that positive and negative emotions helps in body. And now that negative emotions like fear or anger releases stress hormones that is cortisol and epinephrine. So this is how these emotions have effect on our body, and the positive emotions may increase our immune system and may decrease. So this is how emotions can affect our body, how we regulate our emotions. This is the physiology, and then it's not a sense to think how can we regulate emotions and maintain emotional intelligence. This is all, the whole talk is based on this, how we can uh, manage and regulate our emotions. We have to be too wise enough for that. We have to judge the requirement and the extent and the limits, to what extent we have to go and to the things. And next, persons who are residing in negative environment, although they are aware of they shouldn't be affected with the words of others, but due to frequently repetition of same thing in which they don't want to indulge themselves, then at that time, then how person can tackle that situation. The Shaista Javed. So if you come across such situations which are with the means repeatedly, then first thing it is if you don't want to indulge in that situation, then don't respond. I'll suggest that ignore such people, such things, such comments, ignore. If you ignore, then it will affect that person or the persons very strongly. If you ignore them, don't give importance to such remarks and maintain your peace of mind. Then sometimes sometimes we, despite knowing our core values, breathe them, then managing those contradictions are very difficult. Basically, want to know how to manage the contradiction. All of you are again and again asking the same thing, how to manage the contradictions. So these contradictions, you have to judge them. What are those contradictions? What should be your role? To what extent you should respond them? Use your wisdom here. Whether should you you want to indulge in that? If you don't want to indulge in that situation, on that contradictions, then avoid them. Don't react. Keep silent. This needs more energy, more emotional control on your impulse. Means regulate your impulses. It is unnecessary. No need to react. Let them say, don't means avoid such situations. Only respond where means constructive. You have to, what is, we have learned the means the definition of intelligence as we have to act purposefully. So if it is not fulfilling your purpose, then don't act, don't react. And we have to deal effectively with our environment. Environment consists of such peoples also. So don't indulge in such people. Don't react, ignore them. Then what more? Others word stuck in our mind. It's difficult to eradicate their words. But time is the big healer. Don't indulge yourself in some other constructive work. Then it will diminish. Don't try to stuck. It is possible, but indulge yourself in some constructive things. Shaista Javed. Though we don't want, we don't respond, but somewhere others understand. Man, we should hear more of mind or heart. The emotional intelligence or one है Zahid. Emotional intelligence is itself, the whole talk is based on this mind and heart, the combination of this. We should be wise enough to react, to respond according to the situations. Sometimes we should listen to our heart and sometimes with our mind, and mind should dominate. Okay. Then next is how to deal with insecurity that leads to emotional imbalance. So this is, we discussed in this, how to deal with insecurity that leads emotional disturbances. So building self-awareness. Self-awareness is the major, very important component of emotional intelligence. So you should be self-aware about your emotions, about your weak points, gray points, strengths. Then cultivating self-regulation, all those things which we have discussed just now, practice them. And then you will deal insecurity. You will not feel insecure. If you are applying all these components, practice all these components, then inshallah you will not feel insecure. Any more question?
Madam, number please, if you don't mind. Ahmad Hassan.
Okay, I think that it will, Asfar Saab will share if they.
Okay. Then I will take from engineer Azhar. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any more question?
Mashallah, very purposeful, meaningful, and educative webinar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you all physical, emotional, and everything health for you with Iman. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Sometimes we feel completely problems and we keep small in front of others, but when we are alone, everything we have been holding in just breaks down. How can emotional intelligence helps us deal with such silent pain? In such a situation, Ruqayya Imran, spiritual means spirituality is very, very necessary in such situation. The kind that we can't express in words but only feel. Then discuss with the Almighty. Talk with the Almighty in such a situation, then you will realize, you will experience peace in your mind, in your heart, in such a situation. And it will help you Because sometimes we come across such a situation by accumulating all those things in us, that a situation will come that now we will burst up. So this is life. So if you experience such things, then turn to Almighty. Then spirituality is also necessary. Then, ma'am, can you explain in short how to handle overthinking? How to handle overthinking means obsession. So first of all, you have to think that the thing over which you are thinking, and that is, you know that you are indulged in overthinking, then first think that that thing is really important for you to keep on thinking on that issue. Is that issue is very important for you, or it is not that important? If it is important, then thinking should be limited. It is not just like that you should think for months and years and that all. So you should limit your thinking, and constructively your thoughts should be very much clear, and all those components of emotional intelligence should be practiced and should be applied. Okay. Coaching center for UG students, please tell me UPSC free coaching center for UG students in AMU. AMU for free coaching, there is residential coaching. In AMU, residential coaching, you should ask some either administration for such queries. Your questions according to this talk, the question should be restricted to this talk, not for the information regarding the university's courses or admissions. Ma'am, how can we recognize and manage our own emotions better? Our own emotions better, yes, Aisha, Siddiqa. You can recognize it is about self-awareness. The very first thing about emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness. You should be self-aware about your own emotions. So no one knows better than you. No one knows you better than you. So you are the only person who know yourself better. So keep pondering on what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, what you can do, what you cannot do. The way where you may get success or not. And then for managing emotions, it is self-regulation. Ma'am, whenever I start thinking, the topic is diverted. So, Muhammad Rehan, I start thinking, then my topic is diverted. It means your attention, you are not very much involved in your topic. Anything, any small thing is keeping you diverted, or distractions are there. For that, you have to focus, increase your focus or attention on that topic, indulge on your topic, go deep study. Then next, sat for session, thank you. Then diary writing also help in overcoming situation. Writing down the problem and then solution on paper which are bothering you. Yes, there are certain people who are in the habit of daily writing the important events in the diary. It will help in expressing. It is one of the way of expressing our emotions or our thoughts, whether we can express them verbally or in writing form. It will help. Then next, my personal experience. Okay, very informative. Thank you very much. And any more question? Have any personal book recommendation to best develop the emotional intelligence? There are so many books on emotional intelligence. Now, to search any book, any topic nowadays is very simple. You can take help of your Google or YouTube. There are so many lectures. There are so many research papers available on the net. There are so many books. How to calm ourselves when we feel angry or disappointed. Yes, Soha. You can calm yourself when we feel angry. So, again, don't be angry on anything. But sometimes it is not under your control. It means your self regulation is not up to the mark. है ना? We should be self regulated. We should have that much judgment that we have full control on our impulses. Should we react or shouldn't we? है ना? Disappointed. This is life. Sometimes we experience good things, sometimes bad. So it is go on in our life. So don't be so much disappointed. It will overcome by your positive energy. Then Yashwin, what are the signs that tells us that we need emotional help? What are the signs? For example, emotions. For example, I have given some example that if we are sad, if some of your friend is sad or feeling loneliness, then it is a sign that she is indicating that she needs some help, some support. So it is your duty to interact with them, to interact. And what are the signs that tells us that we need emotional help? Such type, we give some indication by our, that is sadness, hopelessness, disappointments, worry, anxiety. So there are so many emotional indicators that you need some emotional support. Then any more question? Yes. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. So its time is up. Welcome. All of you
So,
are welcome.
so it
Thanks
gives me
for your
immense
encouraging
pleasure.
comments. Yes. Thank you
Yes,
all
Auntie.
for your encouraging comments.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for your blessings. I am very much thankful. Yes.
Okay. So it gives me immense pleasure to extend my heartfelt gratitude as we conduct today's online interactive session on emotional intelligence. We are deeply thankful to our eminent scholar, distinguished academician, Dr. Nikhat Yasmin Shafeeq, for gracing us with her valuable time and sharing such insightful perspectives on emotional intelligence. Her words have truly enlightened and inspired me to understand emotions with greater depth and wisdom. I also extend sincere thanks to all our participants for their active involvement and organizing team of Alex Speaker Discussion Forum and the Allegri Reneza for their dedication and teamwork. Once again, thank you everyone for being a part of this intelligent session, and a special note of gratitude to Dr. Nikhat Yasmin Shafeeq for making truly memorable. Thank you once again, ma'am, for your time and for your words.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Allah Hafiz.